Let's have a real conversation about what it's like for leaders dealing with difficult people. I'm Brenda Neckbottle, and I help the strongest leaders deal with the messiest people. Most leaders, they don't get blindsided by bad employees. They get blindsided by ignored signs. Now, have you ever looked back and said, I should have caught that problem earlier? Yeah. Well, look, that behavior did not come out of nowhere. You just didn't recognize what it was turning into. I used to do it too. So let's break this down for you. That employee who keeps showing up late to meetings, the one who's rolling their eyes when you're talking, or who suddenly start sending those overly formal, really passive aggressive emails, it might seem small, it might even seem petty. It's not. It's the beginning of a behavioral spiral. It's called counterproductive work behavior, and there are four distinct levels to this. Each one is a step closer to a situation you're dealing with full-blown dysfunction, full-blown toxicity, or even worse, even maybe a legal liability. All right, so let's walk through them. Level one, those are your early warning signals. This is the subtle stuff, the tardiness, the withholding the effort, the sarcasm, the disengagement, everyone's favorite, right? You think they're just having an off week. And, in all fairness, you may have someone who is genuinely having a bad time because let's face it, life does throw curveballs at us. But what's really happening is that they're testing the waters. They're pulling back and watching how you respond. And if you don't respond, you just gave them permission to continue. All right. Level two is critical behavior breach. This is when the behavior goes from passive to aggressive. Now they're lashing out. They're bullying teammates. They're pushing back on everything and maybe even being paranoid. They're challenging your authority and they're dragging morale down. And if you haven't addressed the stuff earlier from level one, now they feel justified. This is where they start taking it out on the business. It's called level three and it's called the cultural drift. They start skipping steps. They misuse or even steal time. They bend or break policies because they just don't see the point of following them anymore. They're not just engaged from you. Now they're rebelling against the entire system. They're watching to see what you do if you do anything about it. Now, level four is a total systematic breakdown. This is where the line gets crossed. Now we're talking about sabotage, theft, data breaches. They've gone from being disgruntled to being dangerous for your business. Now, here's the harsh truth. If you've reached this point, your leadership wasn't just challenged, it was ignored, it was avoided, and it was completely bypassed. This isn't drama. This is risk management now. Most leaders don't even realize that these levels exist. They're just stuck reacting to the visible behavior, which is the only thing that they can see in front of them. But the real threat was in the behavior they didn't address earlier. Because let's be honest, how many times have you disregarded an employee's problem because you didn't see it as a big enough problem to address? How many times have you said, I don't want to overreact, or I'm sure it'll work out just fine, or that's just their personality? No, this is where I'm going to love on you a little bit. That's your leadership getting softer every time you let something slide. Behavior is data. It's telling you a story and it's being written in real time. The question is, are you reading it or are you avoiding it? Now, I break all this down in my newest article that I put out on LinkedIn this week, and you can click the link below to go ahead and read it. It is written for leaders who are serious about protecting their culture, keeping their team high performing, and staying ahead of the breakdown, not cleaning up after it. Now, leaders need to learn how to recognize these four levels that they're playing out, what to say when the warning signs first show up, and how to course correct before trust, time, or talent shifts or is lost totally. Now, if you're dealing with resistance, secrecy, sarcasm, or people who just straight up ignoring expectations, don't wait for it to escalate. Don't wait until the team turns on itself. By the time the damage is visible, the real loss has already happened behind closed doors. Nearly every client of mine has had to learn this lesson the hard way to spot these cues before they become a storm and they can't control it. Great leaders don't lead by fear, but they also don't lead blinding. Know the signs. Move fast because success rewards speed. Stop letting subtle behavior sabotage your success. If you don't know what to say or how to get to the bottom of what's really going on, don't guess. That's how you lose trust. That's how you lose respect, and you lose total control. If you need help with what to say, I'm giving you a foundation to build from through my Impact Scripts course, and it is completely free. Inside, you're going to get powerful word for word scripts that shut down resistance, they uncover hidden issues, and they redirect behavior before it spreads. Know the signs, move fast, and stop letting subtle behavior sabotage your success. Now go grab your free Impact Scripts course now over at heybrenda.com.